Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Football RPG. I'm Mike, that's David, that's Evan, and you may notice the handsome young man in the car. We have a guest tonight from Football Guys, the sports affiliation. Tonight we're doing a 2025 redraft mock draft. But Tip, thank you for joining us and tell people where they can find you, what you're working on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, work with you, Mike, at Football Guys. I've had a lot of fun so far working with them and doing some articles, some content work. And then also sports affiliation, you mentioned them. I might have something else working with them during in the next couple of weeks, maybe. We're trying to hash some things out, so look for that. And then also work with OddsChecker as well. And for OddsChecker, I do content, video content, and written content for them for betting. So look out for some of my stuff there too. But I'm happy to be on here with you guys. I'm a big fan of you, Mike. You know that. I've been following you for quite some time, back to the Last Word on Sports days. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for the mock draft. And we are here. Like, this is it. And I'm super excited about getting to do mock drafts. I'm getting to, where I'm doing, 3 mock drafts a night. Don't tell the wife. But, yeah, I'm doing 3 mock drafts a night now. And then, yeah, man, it's just a lot of fun, dude. I can't wait for it this season.
Nice. Well, some of the early ADPs are hilarious and fun. But, yeah. Evan, you just went with the Triple Crown winner, 2 overall. Is that easy enough? All right. Well, Evan is experiencing technical difficulties, but we went Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then auto picks Saquon Barkley. That's tough for them. David, why don't you go CD Lamb there?
CD Lamb, it's a pretty easy choice for me. Lamb's one of the best receivers in the game. To me, there's a very clear top tier of wide receivers with Chase, Jefferson, and Lamb. We know the targets are going to be there. Dak's going to be healthy again. Him and CD Lamb, they can make magic together. And we know that even if Dak gets hurt, misses time, he's more than capable of producing with any other quarterback. At the time, the 6th pick, he's the best combination of ceiling and floor you can find.
Yeah, big fan. We're a little removed from that. Tip going with Derrick Henry, just unafraid of age. Think he's going to live forever.
Yep.
All right.
He's got one more year in him. He's got one more year in him. And, I think with Derrick Henry, we saw what that offense could do with him in there. That was extra motivation for him to stay healthy and continue to do what he did. And they rewarded him this year by paying. So I think Derrick Henry's got a little bit left in the tank, man. I think that, redraft league for sure. Now, if you're doing, dynasty or keeper, you might want to reconsider that. But I think still, even for the next couple of years, I think at least this year, I think he's going to do some damage.
Yeah, no, that's fair. At the turn, I went ahead and double tapped a couple of receivers there. I think Nico Collins, he was on pace to be the wide receiver 1. Had some injuries flare up. That'll happen. But with how tuned in we are to the dynasty streets, I think I can get a couple of young running backs later and try and build my team that way. Tip, you are going complete opposite direction. Just so much testosterone. Somebody get this man checked. What's going on there?
Dude, I think Jonathan Taylor can seriously be a first-round – he should be a first-round running back in my eyes, because I look at it like this. I look at Anthony Richardson, he's already dealing with injuries. And then you got Daniel Jones. Okay, that is a slight upgrade. If you look at the completion percentage, a slight upgrade than what Anthony Richardson did last year. I think that Jonathan Taylor is going to be the guy in this offense. I think he's going to get close to 400 touches total this year. I think that the sky's the limit for him. The biggest thing is him staying healthy. Well, if he doesn't stay healthy, they went ahead and they got DJ Giddings. And then also you got Khalil Herbert as well. I'm kind of going a little bit different way than Khalil Herbert. I'm not going that route. I will go to DJ Giddings if that's the guy you're looking for a handcuff, because we've seen what Khalil Herbert doesn't do, and he doesn't stay on the field. So I think that if you go with Jonathan Taylor like myself, you got to handcuff your guy, DJ Giddings.
Yeah. No,
it's really interesting to see the Jonathan Taylor pick, because I know we've had multiple videos recently where Jonathan Taylor has been a hot topic in our group here. I am the resident Jonathan Taylor hater. Mike is trying to stand for him over there. So.
Why do you hate him? What did Jonathan Taylor do to you?
So we're talking injury along with the offensive line. So you put all of that together, and I just look at the offense saying they really can't pass. Even with Daniel Jones as the quarterback, they still can't really pass. They have the weapons on the outside to be able to get the ball out and distribute to them. But if you're not going to be able to pass, you're going to start rolling safeties down into the box more often. You're going to have to put more on Jonathan Taylor's shoulders. All those things just don't make me, oh, wow.
Okay, so he's not coming to 3-6.
You talking about Bucky or you talking about Trey McBride?
McBride.
No, I literally had Trey McBride queued up. I was ready to.
Yeah. Irving at 2.9 is a bit of a
I love the guttural reactions. This is why fantasy football is fun. But I do want to shout out the guys that are drafting with us before we continue arguing about Jonathan Taylor for the next hour.
Yeah, because we're about to get into it for sure.
Yeah, we got Spiders, Dan the Man, built different with the Trash Panda. Love that team. Smelly, great name, a commander of some kind. Like, we got a good group in here, so thanks for drafting along with us. And if you guys want to draft more, like, subscribe. This was sent out to the YouTube comments. This was sent out on Twitter. There's all sorts of ways to get involved. But Evan, Jonathan Taylor, you're saying that he might get a lot of work, and that's a bad thing.
Right.
No, I'm getting.
I'd like to also point out there the argument against Jonathan
I'm happy
Taylor,
you said that, Mike.
Like,
because
they
I was
can't pass. They've never been able to pass since he got in the league. It doesn't matter.
It is.
But he's
it is
broken down every single year.
Speaking of broken down every single year, Evan, how do you feel about Christian McCaffrey at the 2-11? That's nice.
Hey, it's not every single year. It's just last year.
It's just every other year. You just flip a coin every year, see if CMC wins you your league or absolutely ruins it.
If he was the 101, he's going to get hurt. If he wasn't, you're probably going to get like first overall production. So congrats, Evan. You just won the draft.
Yeah, no, I actually really like the value there.
And then, I'll go ahead and take the first quarterback off.
Early quarterback?
Okay.
Evan?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Right. It's a switch from my usual tactics here. Look, Josh Allen has been the guy that I've been on since college. I loved his profile coming out. One of the few people that had plenty of it and then was able to get off early. So I really don't have a ton of Josh Allen right now in my dynasty profile, but I absolutely love what he can do from a spike perspective. And the hope was that taking a quarterback would start to create a quarterback run on that top tier of quarterbacks.
And David followed.
To be able
it was going to be Lamar no matter what.
To push
well, actually, it would have been quarterback. It was either Allen or Lamar. So congrats on beating me to him. But those were the guys.
That's funny. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, and is there a safer pick other than Jamar Chase, other than Bijan Robinson? Okay, yeah, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs, then Josh Allen. I don't think so. I mean, the guy does it every year. He does it with his legs. He does it with his arms. I thought last year I was like, man, can he continue to do it? And he continued to do it. I don't think that James Cook is going to get as many touchdowns as he did last year. So there's going to be a little regression there. Mm-hmm. That's going to be more opportunity for Josh Allen. So I don't like any of these wide receivers here, guys. So don't like really the tight ends either. And I'm not a quarterback guy this early, but this is a mock draft and we're here to have fun, right?
We are here to have fun.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get Jaden Daniels. I haven't had him anywhere yet. I haven't had him at all anywhere, and I'm not huge on him. I think that, you know, he does have the opportunity, obviously, with his legs. He has the opportunity throwing the ball as well. But other than Deebo Samuels, I mean, they really didn't give him a lot. And now Terry McLaurin's not happy. He didn't show up to camp yet. It's kind of looking like, what happens here? But I do believe in the talent. So I'm just going to go with it here. I do like Hurts right there, too. I thought about him, but I just went
Mike, you hurt my soul.
Yep. So we did a tight end and a quarterback rankings episode, and in each of them we said you better get one of the top couple of guys or you're going to wait forever. I didn't feel like waiting forever tonight. You only have to start 2 wide receivers, so I'm going to go ahead, take Jalen Hurts, who I think is in conversations to finish QB1, tush push be darned. And George Kittle, they got rid of Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk's coming off of injury. Do you want to see George Kittle with 100 targets because he's been a tight end one with 90.
Kittle pick's great. Hurts pick is great. Since I had A.J. Brown, I was thinking about doing Hurts at the 3-6, but ultimately I went with Lamar. Just better player, better quarterback, Papa John's. But I have no idea what I'm going to do with the fourth now because I really thought Kittle was making his way to me.
Yeah, you weren't getting them. But Travis Hunter right after Tyreek Hill.
Ooh, that is bold.
Evan, as the resident Travis Hunter hater,
wait, Evan hates everybody. Who else do you hate?
Hates everyone.
Wait, do you hate Bijan Robinson, Evan? Because if you do, then we really gonna have some issues.
Wait. Time out, Mike. What do you mean I'm the resident Travis Hunter hater?
Anytime there's a player that I want to talk about, I just say you're the resident hater, and most of the time it's true.
I said that I like Travis Hunter more than Ted.
But do you like him more than Tyreek Hill in redraft?
I mean, if you want to talk about boom bust potential, I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's not even a limb at all because Trevor Lawrence is clearly a better quarterback than Tua. So
Fair.
You have a better quarterback, you have a better offensive play caller, you have better weapons around you to be able to pull coverage away. I mean, going up against CB2s or whoever's on his side of the field, depending on what type of defense you're playing and what type of corner you're playing, I mean, he's going to have every chance to potentially eat that he's going to be given.
Yeah.
So,
I'm concerned that he might be on a snap count. And I also think Tyreek Hill, we've seen the boom bust there. Like, he can be the wide receiver 1. He can be the wide receiver 3.
And that's what I looked at. I mean, when I was looking at the wide receivers that were there, you have Mike Evans. I mean, yes, I could. But the thing is, Tyreek Hill what he can give you in any given game, it can just blow up. And we've seen it. We didn't see it as much last year, but we did see it. Back to the Travis Hunter thing, though, I will say this. I am concerned a little bit about his snap count. I'm also concerned about them bringing him on right away. I think that, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to, he's doing all the right things. He's smiling. Everything's great. Everything's sunshine and rainbow. This is still the NFL. And I mean, it only takes one shot and that's any player. But I think that they do bring him on. But I think as the year goes, then we're going to be like, wow, he's going to make some splash plays and they're going to be like, why are they not putting him in there more? But I think that we're forgetting a couple of players. I think that, Travis Etienne, I know he's not a popular name, but I think that what I heard from Liam Cohen is excited about him. He likes what he's doing. And they're all saying that in this time of the year. Mm-hmm. But you got 3 running backs over there that everybody's talking about. Bishop soon. I get it. Everybody's talking about Tank Bigsby from last year. I get it. But I just think that it's going to be a jumbled up mess. And I think that that's going to also take away from some of the things that Travis Hunter can do, because you can get him out in the backfield, do little creative things with him. But if you're doing that with your running backs already who can take a little bit more heat, I think that that's something else that we're going to look at too. And not even the whole other thing with Brian Thomas Jr. too, because he is good. He's the alpha. Like, he is the guy. Yeah. And he should continue to be the guy. So I do like Travis Hunter in a redraft league for sure. IDP league, look, I'm being aggressive on him. Even in the Scott Fish Bowl, we saw the rankings that they put out there for football guys. And I think that they were a little aggressive on it, but I could see why, because you're looking at opportunities, targets, things like that. So we'll see what happens with Travis Hunter. And look, Evan, we're not done. We're going to talk about the Jonathan Taylor thing, but we're going to keep going with it. We still got to go.
Hello, Saris.
Oh, excuse me, everybody. Subscribe for the cat. David.
He's just off screen. And now he's running away.
That's heartbreaking.
There was a tight window in there where he jumped. He was in the background. I think his face was in for a frame or two. But
rewind, pause it, tag us on Twitter with pictures of David's cat.
Oh, no, I'm up. Okay, let's actually do something.
Oh, no.
But while you're thinking here, David, I went Devontae Adams. Mike knows my feelings on it. Mm-hmm. Puka's going to eventually get hurt this season. Ooh. Stafford loves to look. He's going to miss a couple games. I'm not saying he's going to get a serious injury by any means, but historically he's going to miss a couple games. And in those couple games, you're going to see hyper targeting to whoever is the wide receiver standing between Adams and Puka. that's just what Stafford does. That's how the offense is going to be able to operate. You're going to see a heavy target share.
Yeah, no, Adams is a very good pick there.
Yeah, I like it.
My first few rounds, I went old man squad with Lamb, who's on the older side, Brown, Kamara is my RB1. Got a little bit younger with Flowers. Really good value in the 5th round. They just extended Bateman, which means there's not going to be really a change to the wide receiver room. It's still Flowers running the ship, and I get Jackson for the stack, which does matter in redraft. I know it's a bigger deal in like best ball or like those big tournaments, but even in a 12-team league, having that stack is a nice little edge to add to your team.
Did you say CD Lamb's on the older side? Because if 26 is old, I got problems.
Yeah, he's pretty young.
He's only 26.
Yeah,
He's gonna. When did he? He was drafted in what? 2019.
Yeah, he's 12 years old.
Yeah, that's right. It does feel like he's been in.
Oh my God, he should be older than that.
I mean, it's like the Josh Jacobs conundrum. You know, he feels like he's been in the league forever, but he's really not even that old. And look, like Mike said, if that's getting old, I don't know what's happening, because I just played some pickup football on Sunday and I'm still feeling it today. So
now imagine playing an NFL game and getting 190 targets in a year. But Tip, I love the Hawkinson pick there. And then I did have an argument with myself about Pickens versus Waddle. Would you prefer Pickens over Waddle, or was this you just got lucky?
I think that the thing I like about George Pickens and a thing I like about the Cowboys offense is that there's going to be continuity. Schottenheimer has been there for some time now. So it's not like you're bringing in a new offensive mind, he may have not been calling the shots, or maybe he was, or maybe they took it back away. And it seemed like they kept taking the play calling, or Mike McCarthy kept taking the play calling away from him, giving it back, taking it away. But I think that there's continuity there. I think that this offense gets going quick. You got CD Lamb there. You always got to put, I think, Jake Ferguson. But I do like George Pickens a little bit ahead of Waddle. I think Waddle's up for a better year. But I think it's going to be tough with the Miami Dolphins. So I just went George Pickens on that one. I think that he is really going to – this is going to be the year where we're going to be like, oh, wow, George Pickens, close to 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. And then, then we got to pace ourselves and see how is he going to act in the offseason, do all that crazy stuff, because he's always coming sideways with stuff. But I do like him here, and I think him as a wide receiver 2. It's a little pricey for it, but I think that it could work in the long run, especially if you got or what you feel like is a strong wide receiver 1.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I decided to go a different route with my wide receiver, so I hit it and double tapped it early. And then I came around and I grabbed a couple of boom bust guys to just put them on the roster at the same time. Maybe Jameson Williams wins me a week. Maybe he does nothing. Maybe Jalen Waddle wins me my week. Maybe he does nothing. Hopefully they don't both do nothing at the same time, but it'll be fun to watch. David, Aaron Jones in the year of our Lord 2025.
That's exactly why. So redraft league dynasty, I'm staying away from him everywhere. Obviously, he actually is old man squad. None of that CD Lamb 26 crap. He has to be 40. But it's redraft. We're only worried about 1 year at a time. The Minnesota Vikings, who's there to steal touches? Jordan Mason? Nobody cares about him. They have a very good offensive line. They have a great offense. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be better than Sam Darnold was as a quarterback, so the offense should open itself up. I'm not expecting, top 12 production out of Aaron Jones, but in the 6th round, I think I'm getting a solid RB2, and I'm happy with that.
That's fair. And then Evan took your heartthrob, Henderson, after Mahomes and Knicks go back-to-back, which is a wild thing to say. Imagine a year ago. Yeah, Knicks and Mahomes, they'll go back-to-back in drafts.
Yeah, I actually had Aaron Jones queued up. David,
I had both of them, so I'm pretty mad right now.
All right. Yep, definitely had him queued up, and we're just going to keep pounding the running back here with the questions around Christian McCaffrey.
Oh my God, that's a lot of RBs.
We're just going to keep pounding the running backs. We're going to have the unstable running back room and just say somebody is going to be healthy, and we're going to be able to start those guys.
You're going to be just rolling out backups to backup running backs. Your wide receivers right now are Chase and Adams. You only have to start 2, so that's fine. Jacoby Myers, 7th. I love it.
Nothing hurts more than I literally hit Q on Jacoby Myers 2 seconds before that pick went in.
I love it. But, I just looked at my queue and it got very sad very quickly. Oh, man. I should probably draft a running back at some point. And there goes another one from the queue. DeAndre Swift survived.
DeAndre Swift, designated survivor, was going to be my pick.
Yep. I mean,
I don't want to double down on Saints offense because I already have Kamara, but Olave in the 7th, that's too good to ignore. I have to take him.
Just calling out to you like the Goblin Mask.
Yep. He's fantastic every time he's on the field. Can he stay on the field? That's the question.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's no more Derek Carr. I mean, I always make fun of the fact
Derek Carr is going to be a better quarterback than Shucker Rattler, but Carr, his biggest weakness as a quarterback was hospital balls. That man had a death wish for every wide receiver he ever played with. So, like, by default, whoever's starting next year has a better shot of keeping Olave healthy a full 17.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I always joke around with Derek Carr and Chris Olave. I remember there was a game, it was a couple years back, where Chris Olave had nothing, zero. He was throwing up a goose egg, and we were heading into the third quarter, or the fourth quarter, I should say. And Derek Carr got hurt, and Jameis Winston comes in, and all of a sudden, Chris Olave's got like 3 catches for 60 yards.
Well, that's Jameis.
That's the Jameis Winston effect.
Jameis is like fantasy football gold.
Oh, it is.
He somehow wins the Giants job. Get neighbors, get everyone.
And I think he is going to win the Giants job.
Really?
I think he is. Yes, I think that he look. Oh wow, it is getting really thin. I like this kid though.
We got 6 more rounds. Let's go.
Why is it not letting me kick Shakir?
Here, I can change it.
You're on auto pick. Something happened.
I got you. You got to turn yourself off of auto. But
that was weird.
I'll stall for you for a
there we
second
go.
while you do that.
No, there it goes. It took me off. But yeah, I like Khalil Shakir.
My sweet prince.
Caleb Johnson.
Oh, brother. All right, we are playing running back. Yeah, we are just doing it.
Are we going to talk about how many teams just punted on quarterback so far? I mean, we're talking that we're already in the 8th round here, and we got a chunk of teams that still haven't even touched quarterback.
No, and I love that. If you don't get one of those top 4 guys, please wait. Like RTT Truth, I hope you're listening. I love you. But Baker Mayfield in the 6th, not for me.
Yeah, same with Knicks, Mahomes, Williams. I would have held off on all those guys. Like, I got Lamar, which for me, he's worth the high price. But all those mid-tier guys, like, I'd much rather wait till the double-digit rounds, end up with a Drake May, end up with a Dak Prescott, someone like that.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's another thing. Trevor Lawrence, the math is not mathing. Brian Thomas is consistently a top 20 pick. We just saw Travis Hunter go off the board early in the 4th. How can Trevor Lawrence be like drafted around QB 20-ish if those guys are going to put up those numbers? Mathematically, it can't happen. So
somebody has to be wrong.
Target consolidation.
Personally, I think it's the Travis Hunter thing that's wrong. But if you believe in Thomas and Hunter being drafted at the correct ADP right now, go get Trevor Lawrence.
Yep. But we have entered the back half of our draft, so things are starting to get spooky. Before we talk any more about it, if you've listened this far, you're not subscribed, Evan will find you, and he will hug you until you subscribe. So don't send us your address because he will show up. Be careful. Please subscribe. Deebo Samuel, do you think he just isn't washed? The allegations went too far?
I think it was a little bit of a panic pick. I'm not going to lie, because I looked at the other wide receivers that were there, and I just was like, well, hold up. I got Jaden Daniels. So I was like, this would be nice if we could double up, do some things in this. And, he's always a threat rushing the ball, too. I know Jaden Daniels is a threat rushing the ball, too. So it would be nice because they really haven't done too much to upgrade their running back room. It would be nice if I get down to the goal line, and have you seen the pictures of Jaden Daniels? He's bulked up a little bit. Maybe I get a little Deebo Samuel action or Jaden Daniels action down there near the goal line. I think that would be cool. So
I picked Brian Robinson, so I'd rather not. I'd like to have
Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson, again, he is their goal line back for sure. Yep. But he, again, has had issues staying on the field. They could get creative with Deebo Samuels. I'm just going to take a shot on him. And as my 4th wide receiver, I was like, yeah, let's see what happens.
David's over here taking a luxury brand J.K. Dobbins. How do you feel about Najee Harris throughout the season?
So I think Najee Harris is a guy I'm going to have a lot of in redraft just because, like, Omarion Hampton, he's the fun guy. He's the first-round pick. He's going to be great. I really like him as a prospect. But at the end of the day, he is a rookie on a team with Super Bowl aspirations and an old school head coach in Jim Harbaugh, who's going to make the young guy earn his snaps. Nobody's going to like it. It's going to piss everybody off. But ultimately, Najee Harris is going to have a much larger role than anybody wants, especially early in the season. And chances are I can start Najee, feel really good about it for September into October. And depending on how good he looks, I can probably trade him after a month, get a lot more for return than I invested in him. And Hampton takes it on later down the road. I don't care. By then, I can get someone on waivers who's good enough. And this is the other guy I was debating with my 8th round pick, so I'm happy to get him in the 9th.
All right. Yeah, no, that'll work. You're just going to throw him on IR and wait a little bit.
Najee's flex for the first half of the year, Ayuk for the second. I'm feeling great.
Yep. Evan, so you double tap tight end there. Spiders went ahead and he took Colson Loveland, and then Aaron Jones is back up in Jordan Mason, which I like that pick at this point in the draft. How do you feel about the 3 tight ends that went there, Njoku, Loveland, and Andrews?
Yeah, I know more so what Njoku and Andrews is going to be over Loveland. Looking at that turn, it's a whole question mark of how that Chicago offense is going to be able to operate. I know when Njoku's on the field, Njoku's probably the best receiving weapon that the Browns have. And then Mark Andrews, if Njoku gets hurt, you're just hoping for a Mark Andrews touchdown because that is what he is. He is a touchdown king. You're just hoping every single week that he gets that one reception for – to make him a viable starter. And I'm assuming that means Justin Fields just got drafted.
Justin Fields went off the board. That's a great late round. I mean, Justin Fields versus Jared Goff versus Baker Mayfield versus Pat Mahomes even. When Justin Fields is starting, you got to feel way better about that. But I went ahead and double tapped some running backs in ambiguous backfields, old Scattaboo and Spears, but Tip did a very similar thing. So how do you feel about – is Jaden Blue going to get a big role this year? How do you feel about the prospect coming out?
I really hope so. Like I said, I am very high on this Dallas offense. They got rid of Rico Dowdle. They got Miles Sanders there, but then they also got this kid, Jaden Blue, who's lightning quick, fast, and that's what they're going to need in this offense. I think that they're going to get the ball down the field quickly too. So I like my chances on Jaden Blue, and it was Zach Charbonnet. I'm just banking on the fact that Kenneth Walker – now that's a player who's been unhealthy each season that he's played in the NFL. And not only that, I mean, I think that he is going to be a dynamic player, Kenneth Walker, in this offense with Clint Kubiak, Rick Dennison now coming over to help with the offensive line and the running game. I think that this is going to be Kenneth Walker's team. But if he gets hurt, it could be Zach Charbonnet. And actually, I've taken a step further. I think that both of them can be pretty or players that you can use like earlier in the season, because they're going to try and look at Kenneth Walker and be like, look, we cannot give this dude 20 touches a game. We can give him somewhere in the lines of 10 to 15 maybe, but we're going to have to give Zach Charbonnet some touches too. And again, Rick Dennison, you look at all of the teams that he's had his hand in the pot of the running game, they're averaging at least 28 carries a game. So they're going to run the ball. So it's just a matter of fact, how will they get the ball? Who's going to get the ball? The time split. I still think it's going to be in favor of Kenneth Walker, but not as much as a lot of people might think. I think it's like a 60-40 split, closer to a 50-50.
I'd agree with that.
I wanted to talk to you guys real quick. I love the Charbonnet and the Blue chat, but how do you guys feel about Mr. Gobbler taking Justin Fields, high upside, super exciting, and then Justin Herbert just a round later to provide a little stability, a warm, cozy safety blanket? Do you guys support going 2 quarterbacks with benches this shallow, or is that?
I do not. I don't think that's in one quarterback. I really don't see the need to draft 2. There's always going to be a fine enough option on waivers. Yeah. Fields at the back of the 9th, love it, shoot for the moon. If it doesn't work out, you can find someone, maybe not Herbert, obviously he got drafted, but chances are, someone like Brock Purdy is going to be available in a 12-round draft or something, or someone of his caliber who you can start. You can be fine with that the whole year. And I don't get the Herbert pick right after that. Yeah. That makes no sense.
I think I would prefer. I mean, yeah, you got the running capability with Fields, but I would prefer Dak Prescott right now over both of those, Herbert and Fields.
I'll agree with that too.
Yeah. Built different and Evan have taken all of my favorite players just right in a row. So thank you for doing that. But also, I'd like them on my team. Evan, Shaheed coming off of an injury, Mooney coming off of a little bit of an injury, but he was never fully out. These are wide receiver twos on their real NFL teams. Are you just expecting them to get a bunch of volume because they're good players, or are you expecting teams to funnel the targets a little bit?
Yeah, Shaheed is the type of player that all you need is 2 receptions. He can have that 2 receptions for 60 yards and a touchdown type of game. So I'm just taking him as a boom bust type of guy for that roster. Look, if Spencer Rattler, for whatever reason, is the starting quarterback, he plays with reckless abandonment, just chucking the ball downfield, hoping for the best. Did it in college, continues to do it in the pros. And Shaheed can get downfield in an absolute hurry. Maybe they connect on one of those passes. And then Darnell Mooney, it's just an upside pick, if for whatever reason, which I don't think they're going to do, but if for whatever reason Kyle Pitts gets traded, now all of a sudden you have additional role for Mooney to be able to play in this offense, would be the very, very clear 2 option in that offense. And they play in a dome. I love players that play in a dome.
You're a big dome guy, but
Mike, I don't think you drafted enough running backs near the end.
Well, I didn't have any starters, so I picked every backup possible. Ray Davis with the James Cook holdout has some appeal and maybe some standalone value. Trey Benson, the coaches said they feel they have 2 starting running backs. I don't believe that, but I also know that James Conner is approximately 95 years old. So I'm willing to just take shots on backup running backs there. But Tip, you took 1 backup running back who I liked a lot pre-draft, and then you took he's like 19 years old, but Kyle Pitts. Is this the year?
No, it's probably not. It's seriously. I don't know what can change. I guess the only thing that could change is if he gets traded to a team like, I don't know, the Chiefs, and then maybe he can go and play with Travis Kelce. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Kyle Pitts this is his year. I'm not believing it. I have TJ Hawkinson there. The only thing is I'm hoping maybe he gets traded to some team that needs a tight end. That's the only really other thing that I can think of. And then the Braylon Allen, for me, I really think that Breece Hall is in a little bit of trouble. That was actually my first article I ever wrote was on Breece Hall and how much I loved him that year coming off of the ACL. And I think that the writing is on the wall. This team, the Jets, they are going to run the ball. Last year, they only ran the ball 21 times a game. This year, I think they run the ball closer to 30, maybe a little bit over 30 with Justin Fields there too. And I think that it's going to be a direct correlation with Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, Justin Fields are going to give you points near the goal line as well, especially Braylon Allen. I think he might be their goal line guy. But if Breece Hall is gone too, because they've been talking about him, then you got a bona fide superstar possibly.
Yep. But this has wrapped up our mock draft. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about favorite picks, least favorite picks, specifically for Evan's team, and our favorite teams that are not our own, but we'll be right back.
And now it's time for a quick break. We shout out sponsors, but we don't have any, so like, subscribe. Check your phone. Pause and go use the bathroom. I don't know. But, alright, should go back to the show.
All right, so we're back. We gave you guys some time to think about it. David, what is your favorite team that is not your own?
Favorite pick team that is not my own, it's kind of an auto answer, but Evans, he's always very good at drafting this sort of thing. Chase at 102 is a no-brainer. McCaffrey, that can win you a league alone. Josh Allen, he was going to be my pick at 3-6. Love it. Devontae Adams, another, love it, fantastic selection. Connor, we spoke about it in the episode. I think he's fantastic, just doesn't age. Going to be another great season for him. The only pick I didn't like of the early ones was Henderson. I can't really get behind that one, but other than that, it was a really strong draft.
Very fair. I'll go with my favorite team. It's going to be built different. I mean, he took a couple of small running backs there, but, that's okay. Don't love the Laporta pick, but the whole team build of going running back early, some wide receivers that we've seen be wide receiver ones that are some reason going a little later there, and then, some backup running backs, some wide receivers that we like. If we could just replace the Marvin Mims pick with any backup running back, I'd be super in. Evan, who's your favorite team?
Mike, I'm going to give you some love here. I love the fact of just taking a shotgun to the running back position. And I also love the Kittle pick. Like, Kittle is the type of player that I want to take in almost every single draft. If you're telling me that I can get him in the 4th round and I'm going to be able to get the production of somebody like a Bowers and like a McBride that are going in the 1st and 2nd, like, that is an absolute slam dunk from a value standpoint. With that being said, the Brock Bowers pick is still my least favorite pick. I'm looking at it. I keep looking at it, and I go, man, Trey McBride is almost a little over a full round later. Look, I get it. Trey McBride probably wasn't making it back, but even if you were to try and push the envelope without a tight end premium, you can make an argument. Hey, it's a position advantage. Is it, though, when you can get George Kittle 3 full rounds later?
It could be, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. No, that's not quite. I don't quite agree with that logic there.
So last year we saw a lot of George Kittle, and he had a lot of success because Christian McCaffrey, who's on your team, Evan, wasn't really there. Now you got Christian McCaffrey coming back. Yeah, okay, now we without Brandon Ayuk possibly at the beginning of the season. But Christian McCaffrey, those dump-off passes, that was
still did something, though.
But I see where but I can see where Kittle could get lost in the mix a little bit, especially when they need him to block, and he's one of the better blocking tight ends in the league, or have been in the past season. So I think that we could lose a little bit of them because they're going to want to utilize Christian McCaffrey as best they can and get him in space, and that's where George Kittle can help him out. I still like Brock Bowers. I still like Trey McBride. Brock Bowers may be a little too early there, though.
Yeah, Bowers in the late 1st is asking a lot.
Tip, who's your favorite team?
I like the Poon Gobbler, man. Look, I mean, you got this
is a family-friendly show.
Yeah, look, Ashton Genty, Drake London, who I think could lead the league in wide receiver categories. Could be the number 1 wide receiver after this season's over with Michael Penix Jr. in that offense. I think Bijan will have something to say. But then you got Rashee Rice. We heard about him. He's showing up to camp. He looks like he's in good shape. I think it's only going to get better from here as they ramp up even more. So him as a number 2, he was on pace last year for 1,300 yards, like 11 touchdowns. So I think he can easily duplicate that with Patrick Mahomes. Then you got Travis Hunter. I like that pickup. Him as your number 3, DJ Moore as your number 4. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then you got 2 big, solid goal line running backs and David Montgomery, who will do a little bit more than goal line, but he's mainly your goal line guy. He's starting to lose a little bit to Gibbs. I saw that during in the playoffs, so that's something to monitor. But Johnson there, that's another good one. Evan Ingram, I absolutely love this pick right here. What Sean Payton is going to do for this kid, and him in the Joker role in that I've written about it, I've tweeted about it. Evan Ingram is going to be those guys. The only thing with Evan Ingram, he's got to stay healthy. But this is a cool little stat that I got from Evan Ingram. The 2 years that he played 17 games, he averaged 200 points in fantasy. So that right there tells you he's going to score points as long as he's on the field. And now he gets to play with Sean Payton. So I'm big time in love with that pick.
Yep.
And then, I mean, there's other players, other picks. I mean, they were, look, they're safe. We're getting Justin Fields and Justin.
Look, Tip, you said it. I had to do it.
He got him. He got the guy. The Pat Freiermuth, I like that one too with Jonnu Smith. What's going on there? That's a weird situation. So, but I do like Pat Freiermuth as long, with Aaron Rodgers there too.
Yep. Instead of going through and talking about our least favorite picks from Evan, I want you guys to comment who your favorite picks were, let us know in the comments below. But thank you so much for joining us.
Well, wait.
Yeah,
We gotta finish this Jonathan Taylor talk though. Hold up, Evan.
I
can't
do a whole nother episode.
Okay.
We'll have you
bring
back
you back.
on.
All right.
But thanks so much for coming on. Do you want to tell people where to find you?
Yeah, so you can find me at Football Guys. You can find me on Twitter at Tip Major. You see it right there. You can also find me at Odds Checkers as well. I actually, if you guys follow me, one of my latest videos was like a 40-second video, came up on Odds Checker just a little bit before the show. So check that out. And then Sports Affiliation, we're going to be doing something special, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on that as well.
Can't wait to see it. Thanks for coming on. And Evan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Evan. I love you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't let the Goblins get you.